Speaker.
O'Rourke.
Mr Speaker, this is a particularly straightforward, simple, sensible and very much a necessary bill as far as the Foundation for the Blind is concerned, and for those reasons New Zealand First will, of course, like other parties, have no hesitation in supporting it. Foundation for the Blind does very wonderful work throughout New Zealand and has done so for a very, very long time. And it has extremely widespread community support for the work that it does. And I had some early insight into this, firstly in my early professional career as a lawyer when I worked for the Public Trust Office. And I did many, in fact hundreds of wills and other testamentary trusts in favour of the Foundation for the Blind, and in fact many inter vivos trusts as well in favour of the Foundation for the Blind, simply because it is such a popular charity. In fact, one of the most popular, if not the most popular charity in New Zealand. And it is good that that is the case, because it is a charity that really needs the funding that it gets, and it is that funding which enables it to do things for the blind which would not otherwise be possible. And in fact, even earlier than that, as a very young person, a toddler in fact, there was a blind lady who lived next to us in Christchurch, and I have a very enduring memory of that woman. She was quite an old woman even then, but she was a very determined and very independent woman, couldn't see at all, and I remember that she would toddle off in the early morning down to the shops and do her shopping and come back blind and alone. How she did that, I'm not really sure, but she managed it. I do remember on one occasion looking out the window one frosty morning and seeing her on our front lawn. The lawn was totally white with frost, and there she was groping around. She'd gone into the wrong driveway and ended up in our front lawn. So I remember vividly as a young kid in my pyjamas and in bare feet going out onto the frosty lawn, crunching through the frost and taking her by the arm and leading her next door back to her home. But I learned from that, Mr Speaker, the resilience that blind people have and the sort of dignity that they have in the way that they live their lives. And it was a very great lesson to me about human nature. And it's left me with a lifelong, I should say, desire to see that the blind are well cared for. And I know that almost everybody in this country would want the same thing. It also left me with what I would call an appreciation for the courage and positivism with people with that degree of disability have towards their lives. And also I learnt that they have a lot to teach us about, that is the rest of us who don't live with such disabilities. They have a lot to teach us about how we should teach each other. Because you never hear of blind people saying bad words about other people, and I don't know why it is, but they always have a very positive, courageous and kindly outlook on the world, and they can teach us a lot. So I just wanted to say that I think that those people and the Foundation, who has committed for so long, so much time and effort and money to looking after those people, deserve all the support that they can get, however we may give it, in assisting them to raise the funds they need to do their very valuable work. And I note that in 2012 the Foundation decided that it should become an independent incorporated society under the Incorporated Societies Act, and therefore obviously no longer needs a special Act of Parliament. And from their point of view, that's a very good idea. As other speakers have said, it shows the public that this is not a government organisation, that it needs public support, it needs public donations in order to continue to do its work. So there's a very good reason behind the repeal of this particular act, and and we all are supporting it, and it does need support, but it needs more than that, an appreciation by the people of New Zealand that they do need to continue, as they always have, their support, whether it be in wills or in donations otherwise, to continue to support this very excellent organisation and the work it does. So it only remains for me, Mr Speaker, to say on behalf of New Zealand First that we wish the Foundation well in continuing its work. It's good to see it flourishing in doing that work, and I hope that it will continue to receive all the public support and funding that it needs to have, and for all those reasons, New Zealand First will be very happy indeed to continue to vote in favour of this bill.
Alice.